I'm Ron Malenfant, and I represent R&B's Grill here in Cranbrook, BC.
How do you spell your last name?
Malenfant.
And what's the difference between your establishment and other establishments concerning the smoking bylaw?
Well, I've constructed smoking rooms that I've complied with W.C.B's regulations in their ventilation, and so I guess the difference being in Cranbrook alone is that I've complied with their regulations and built the smoking rooms to their specifications.
Is this what they asked you to do, or you took it on to yourself?
Well, rather than whine and cry about the situation, I felt that I should do this on my own behalf, at my own expense, and simply just to benefit my business.
And how did you find the smoking compared to the non-smoking now? How are the participants responding?
I believe that my sales are probably up about 25% over last year's. I can only assume that it's directly attributed to the fact that I have the smoking rooms and a place for patrons to smoke while they're eating.
And what about the restaurant area? Is it getting smoke permit?
No, at this point, I've polled many people. I am a smoker myself, so I can't really tell, but I do know that I ask individuals who are non-smokers to give me their opinion, and they feel very comfortable in my non-smoking.
And what about people eating in the restaurant that are smokers? What do they do?
What do they do? I'm not sure of your question, sir.
Do they sit in the restaurant, or do they move to the cubicles?
They move to the smoking rooms themselves. The smoking rooms are very comfortable. I know they are slightly contained, but I had to do that in order to service the people within the smoking rooms. So I made them smaller individual rooms as opposed to one large open area. And that's simply because my employees cannot enter the rooms, so they have to serve them through the service windows.
And how does your employees think of using the windows rather than going personally to the people?
Well, I'm sure that it's affecting their tips as per se. I mean, they would certainly like to service the people as they have done in the past, but with the W.C.B regulations, they're not allowed to enter the rooms until the rooms have been empty and there's been 4 air exchanges that have went through the rooms. In my particular case, each room takes about 2.5 minutes to have a complete new air exchange. So 10 minutes after the patrons leave, they're allowed to go in the room and clean it up.
This is the first time I've been in here. I don't know. I don't mind it in restaurants, but because kids are allowed in there, so it's.
But I do know that ventilation.
Now you have other questions you'd like to have answered.
Yeah, the question I have today is that now that I've complied with W.C.B in their smoking regulations and their ventilation questions, my problem here now is the licensing of the rooms. In my conversations earlier on today, I've had conversations with our local liquor inspector, and he has no comment at this point that he doesn't want to be one way or the other. He feels it's a fight with Vancouver or Victoria, and my problem is that through the service windows, he would be able to perform his job just like you've seen my waitress perform her job and how I perform the job in servicing the public. He says that he would not be able to card minors or see if I've overserved people, and I believe that through the service windows he could perform his job. So I would like my case as an individual, not as licensees as a whole. I'd like to see my case tried as an individual, and I believe there should be no reason why I shouldn't be able to have my license in these rooms. Thank you.
It's Patricia Schulz.
From?
I'm from Cranbrook here.
And can you spell your last name?
Schulz.
And you came from a smoking cubicle. What do you think of it?
Oh, I didn't find any problem. There wasn't too many smokers in there. I've been around smokers all my life. I am a non-smoker. I've never smoked, but my friend and I like to go out for lunch, and she's a smoker, so we chose to come here for lunch so we could have lunch together.
And you're a non-smoker?
I've never smoked.
And you feel okay about it?
I have no problem. If I don't want to go somewhere because it's too smoky, I'll choose not to go. It's my choice if I go in there or not. I do enjoy going to a restaurant that's non-smoking, but today I made a decision to go there to spend some time with a friend. And I would have no problem doing it again.
How do you find the service?
Oh, the service was wonderful.
You have to get up for it?
Do that at home, don't we? If we're mothers and parents, we do that at home waiting on our kids, so it's not much different. Except you don't have to prepare it here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, your name and where do you work?
David Sitco, R&B's Grill.
Okay, keep an eye on him.
Okay.
How do you find the service in the cubicles that have been installed?
Service hasn't changed. It's still very good service, prompt, courteous, and the customers seem to like it as well.
Have you had any complaints on some of them or any of them?
No. People just seem to be happy to be able to smoke in our establishment.
And what about ordering and receiving their orders from the outside?
The customers seem to have gone right along with it, serving through the window. Everything seems to be going fine.
And is there any complications in the tips? They down in size since you're not personally inside with them?
No. Tips seem to be going right along with everything else. The service is just as good. And the tips are right along with that.
So no complaints?
No complaints whatsoever.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are, and what hotel you represent?
The Quality Inn in Kimberley.
Your name?
Andrea Spiess.
How do you spell your last name?
Spiess.
And how do you feel about the no smoking ban and the protest that went on today?
Well, the protest was a good thing. We need more publicity. We need everybody in every town to get together to do the same thing. Right now we're missing the media on this. We're missing the people. Everybody is so upset, but everybody is also afraid to do anything. On the other hand, if we can get everybody together on this, then I'm sure W.C.B. and the government will have to get rid of this regulation, as we call it, so far.
And how are the other bartenders or bar owners in the Kimberley area complying with it?
Well, we all got together. We had weekly meetings, and the same as Cranbrook is doing it. And we all put a budget out together, and we're all working together. And right now the Kino is all shut down. All the pull tabs are shut down. That will bring a $35 million loss for the BC government on a weekly basis. And if everybody does it in BC, then the government has to walk in and they have to help us because they need us too. We're paying the taxes. We're the ones who are creating the jobs. We're the ones who serves the tourists. And we're here in Kimberley in a tourist town. And I'm sure if I have to tell somebody from Germany or Italy or England or Australia that they can't smoke in a country like Canada, then I think there's definitely something wrong.
So in other words, your bar is still a smoking bar? And how many others in Kimberley are?
We are all still smoking bars, and as I said, I will stick to it. And if they find me with $10 million, which I don't have, and just in case, they can find me as much as they want. I will stick to it, and because out of one reason, I'm from Germany. I immigrated 12 years ago. I'm a single person. I'm 34 years old. I had to work for this hotel very hard all my life. And as everybody who knows Germany, we had East and West Germany. They got rid of it in 1989, and we're starting to create a war zone right now here, and I think that is totally wrong.
And what about the restaurant itself? Is that smoking or non-smoking, or divided?
The restaurant is non-smoking, which we believe it's a part of it. They could maybe do it, whereas a bar or a pub where people more socialize, it's a different picture. But even I do believe in the restaurant industry. There is restaurants out and they're hurting. And right now there is Cranbrook, an average. Right now the bars are losing 60% of the sales. Which a bar, we just talked to them down there just an hour ago. There's bars they had, let's say, $2,000 sales, $3,000 sales a night. They're down to under $1,000 sales, and that's a big impact. And we know people here in the area. They lost there's one bartender. She has 3 kids. She lives off her tips usually. Well, there's nobody coming to the bar, so there's no tips, and she lost her job.
And what about the violations that W.C.B. imposes? Is it imposed on you?
Yep, today I got my second warning here. and they're threatening me right now. A minimum of $1,500 to $4,000. That's be the first offense, and then this is the second one, so I'm waiting for the third one. And I have to say, I do not appreciate some of the customers that maybe never go out, never go to a bar, and they're non-smokers. They maybe come out once a week or once a month, and they're the ones that call us. They call in on us. We can't survive on you guys. We can't. We are surviving on the people they're socializing, and we're surviving on the people that support the business and our industry and have respect for the waitresses and bartenders and the owners.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Good girl.